You did everything they told you to do. You worked on yourself. You hit the gym, built discipline, chased success. You became the version of yourself you thought every woman dreams about. And yet, she doesn't look at you the same way she looks at him. The one who barely tries. The one who acts like she doesn't even exist. That's the moment it hits you. The rules you followed were a lie. Because somewhere along the way, you learned to measure your worth by what you could give, not by who you are. You learned that the man who provides, who listens, who proves himself, will be loved more deeply. But in reality, the harder you try to prove your value, the faster that value fades in her eyes. She doesn't fall for effort. She falls for energy. And energy can't be faked. When you chase approval, even politely, she feels it, the silent pull of need. The way your eyes search for validation after every text, every compliment, every plan you make for her. You think you're showing affection. She feels you giving up power. It's not that she's cruel or ungrateful. It's biology. The female brain has evolved to sense confidence not in words, but in the spaces between them. The pauses, the detachment, the calm. The man who doesn't rush to prove himself radiates something primal, safety through self-possession. That's the paradox that destroys so many good men. You think love is earned through performance, through constant reassurance. But the more you perform, the less real you seem. Because deep down, she isn't looking for perfection. She's looking for truth. And truth doesn't try too hard. You've probably noticed it. The man who forgets to text her back for a few hours, the one who shows up when he feels like it, the one who doesn't flinch at her moods, he owns her attention. She rewrites his flaws into mystery, his silence into strength. It's not logic. It's wiring. Uncertainty makes the mind crave resolution, and craving feels a lot like attraction. So when you do everything right, you remove the unknown. You become safe, but invisible, predictable, but forgettable, and it eats at you because you know your intentions are pure. You're not playing games. You just want something real. But the more real you try to be, the less she feels. You start asking yourself, what's wrong with me? You compare yourself to men who seem careless, disrespectful even, and wonder how they keep winning. But the truth isn't that women want bad men. It's that they're magnetized to certainty. The man who knows he's enough doesn't need to prove it. The death of desire happens the moment you trade your natural edge for constant reassurance. You become her comfort, not her challenge. And comfort doesn't create chemistry. It kills it. Every good morning, text that goes unanswered chips away at your confidence. Every time you check if she's seen your story, you leak power. Because attention follows attention. When you revolve around her, she stops revolving around you. But here's the truth no one told you. She isn't rejecting you. She's rejecting the version of you that lost himself trying to please her. Because deep down, she fell for your quiet strength, the way you didn't chase approval when you first met, the way you had your own rhythm. The moment you made her your mission, that rhythm broke. And yet, that's where your power still lives, in a version of you that doesn't need her to feel complete. So stop trying to earn attraction like it's a promotion. Attraction isn't logical, it's emotional gravity. You either pull or you don't. And gravity only appears when you're grounded, when you stand where you are, not where you wish she'd see you. You don't need to become someone else. You just need to remember what made you magnetic before the world told you to try harder. Because the man who chases approval gets attention for a moment. The man who owns himself gets devotion for a lifetime. And when you understand that difference, everything changes. You stop apologizing for being quiet. You stop explaining your worth. You stop asking, what do women want? And start asking, what do I need to stay true to myself? That's the beginning of power. Not dominance, but detachment. The kind that makes a woman look at you differently, even if she can't explain why. And when that moment comes, when you feel her energy start to shift, don't chase it. Don't fill the silence. Let breathe, because that's when desire is reborn. In the pause, in the space where she has to wonder what you're thinking. The illusion of value dies when you realize the only approval worth chasing is your own. And once you reclaim that, you'll start to see how every failure with women wasn't rejection. It was redirection towards something deeper, because the game was never about being perfect. It was about being unshakable. And once you become that man, calm, centered, untouchable, something powerful happens next. You start to notice it once you stop chasing. The silence that used to scare you now feels like control. The unanswered text doesn't sting, it steadies you. Because somewhere deep inside, you realize that the moment you stopped trying to win her over, you started winning yourself back. That's the hidden game no one talks about. The one that flips attraction upside down. See, women don't fall for men because of what they say. They fall for the feeling a man gives them when he doesn't need to say anything. That calm certainty, the kind you can't fake, rewrites her instincts. She stops asking, does he like me? And start wondering, why do I care so much if he does? When you're grounded, She feels it. Your words slow down. Your movements get deliberate. You're not scanning her reactions anymore. You're leading the rhythm of the moment. And that's where desire lives, in the rhythm, not the rules. Because when you overthink every text, every pause, every gesture, you start operating from fear. You're trying to control how she sees you. But confidence isn't about control, it's about trust. Trusting yourself enough to let her come to you. That's what makes uncertainty powerful. Not because you're playing games, but because you're unbothered by the outcome. She feels the difference instantly. A man who's detached isn't cold. He's centered. He can walk away, and that quiet threat, the possibility that he might, lights up every part of her survival brain that says, don't lose this one. And it's not manipulation. It's alignment. You're aligning with your natural polarity, the masculine side that leads, that holds space, that doesn't collapse when things get emotional. Every woman craves that stability, even if she argues against it. When you're that man, you don't chase. You attract. Your presence starts doing the talking. The way you sit back when she tests you. The way you don't explain yourself when she tries to make you prove your intentions. The way you stay calm when she pulls away, because you know the game isn't about winning her, it's about not losing yourself. That's internal confidence. And once you have it, everything you used to do from insecurity starts to fade. You stop texting just to check if she's there. You stop posting for attention. You stop replaying old conversations trying to figure out what you said wrong. Because now you understand, attraction isn't built on constant reassurance. It's built on emotional tension. The space between wanting and having is where obsession grows. She starts to feel it when you stop overinvesting. Her mind starts to wander. What's he doing? Why hasn't he reached out? Did I do something wrong? That uncertainty turns into curiosity, and curiosity turns into desire. The male mind craves clarity. The female mind craves connection through curiosity. When you leave a little mystery, you give her room to chase. And when she chases, she bonds. But here's where most men mess it up. They think mystery means manipulation. They play hot and cold on purpose. They fake confidence. They pretend not to care. That's not power. That's panic wearing a mask. True confidence has no performance. It's quiet, effortless. It says, I'm enough whether you stay or not. And that energy, calm, grounded, sovereign, makes a woman feel something rare in today's world, safety in uncertainty. Because the man who doesn't need to prove himself becomes the one she most wants to understand. So stop thinking attraction is something you earn through effort. Attraction is something you allow through presence. When you stop trying to convince her, she starts convincing herself. When you stop asking for her attention, she starts giving it freely. When you stop chasing the outcome starts chasing you. That's the hidden game. Internal confidence turning uncertainty into gravity. And here's the part no one teaches you. It's not about indifference to her. It's about devotion to yourself. You're not trying to make her insecure. You're trying to stay secure. You're not playing hard to get. You just genuinely have things to do, passions to chase, peace to protect. That's what makes your silence magnetic. That's what makes your focus intoxicating. She doesn't want a man who's unavailable. She wants a man whose availability must be earned. Every time you choose peace over panic, she feels it. Every time you walk away with quiet confidence, she remembers it. Because the man who doesn't need her validation gives her something far more addictive. Mystery with meaning. And once you master that balance, something profound starts to happen. The dynamic flips. The same woman who once pulled away now tries to pull you closer. The same woman who tested your patience now tests your absence. She starts investing, initiating, pursuing. Because she's not addicted to you. She's addicted to the feeling she gets around you. The calm intensity that makes her feel alive. And that's when the power shift begins. When you finally stop needing her, everything changes. You stop waiting for her to text back. You stop reading between the lines. You stop performing for her approval. Because the moment you realize you were never supposed to earn attraction, only embody it, you step into the rarest kind of power a man can have, emotional freedom. That's the magnetic mindset. The quiet strength of a man who no longer asks, what do women want? Because he knows the answer doesn't matter. See, women don't get addicted to men who chase them. They get addicted to men they can't control. Men whose validation can't be bought. Men who walk into every room with the energy of, I'm already enough. That's not arrogance, it's alignment. It's the kind of self-respect that can't be faked because it's built from doing the work no one sees. You've stopped seeking attention. You've stopped begging for closure. You've stopped needing to prove your worth to anyone. And that's when she feels it, the shift. You're no longer reacting to her energy. You're directing it. She starts wondering what you're thinking, what you're doing, who has your attention. The mystery becomes unbearable. Because here's the truth. A woman can't fully fall for a man who revolves around her. She only falls for a man who revolves around his purpose. The man who's grounded in mission, who lives for something beyond her approval, becomes a gravitational force she can't resist. When you move with purpose, you create polarity. Your drive gives her something to surrender to. Your focus gives her something to admire. Your boundaries give her something to respect. Every time you choose discipline over distraction, you're telling the world, and her, that your attention has value. And when your attention becomes rare, it becomes priceless. That's what creates addiction. Not money, not looks, not status. Energy, grounded, self-sufficient, masculine energy. The man who doesn't need her presence makes her crave his attention. The man who doesn't beg for her love becomes the one she loves the hardest. The man who can walk away without bitterness becomes the one she can't walk away from. It's ironic, isn't it? When you stop chasing her, she starts chasing you. When you stop trying to make her feel something, she starts feeling everything. But it's not because you're playing games. It's because you finally became the kind of man who doesn't rely on anyone to feel complete. That's what draws her in. The rare calm of the man who's whole. You've built peace within yourself, and peace is magnetic. Because most people live in chaos, they crave someone who's not. Your stillness becomes her comfort. Your direction becomes her anchor. Your presence becomes her escape. That's why she gets addicted. Not to your looks, not to your lifestyle, but to how you make her feel. She feels safe when you're calm, desired when you're focused, and seen when you're present. That's the essence of masculine power. You don't chase emotion, you create it. So from this point on, stop thinking about attraction as a transaction. It's not about what you do to make her want you. It's about who you become while she watches. Be the man who doesn't flinch under pressure. Be the man who moves with quiet certainty. Be the man who values peace over attention. Because the man who doesn't need her becomes the man she can't forget. And remember this, your value isn't found in how much she wants you. It's found in how deeply you know your worth, even when no one's watching. So stay grounded, stay focused, stay unapologetically in your lane. Because when you live with purpose, confidence, and emotional freedom, you stop chasing women and start attracting devotion. If you felt something during this series, if it opened your eyes or gave you a new way to see yourself, then don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Because the truth is, when men learn this, they stop competing for attention and start commanding it. Stay grounded, stay powerful, and I'll see you in the next one.